We've always loved the outdoors. When we went on vacation from 35 years we've been married, we'd go up to Tennessee, to Gatlinburg, and see Cades Cove and beautiful wildlife and forestry. And at that time, when we were young, we decided we would like to buy some property one day. But it took about 20 years before we started acquiring property. And we just enjoy being on the land.
Brian and I may have been the oddballs with our friends. Most of our friends loved going to the beach when we were younger, but we always wanted to go to the mountains. We would choose to go to state parks here, and so it was just a natural thing that we would want to find land in Alabama.
So we found the property in 2015. The family told us, the original family that bought the place had a small child, and they saw a deer footprint, and they said, that's a deer step. That's what we were told the history of that name was. We were going to change it when we first bought the property, but everybody knows deer step in Lauderdale County, so we kept it, and so that's the story behind it. Primary makeup of deer step, the original 1,500 acres is originally about 75% hardwood and the other 25 of pine plantation. It wasn't very well managed when the family had passed away, and it had kind of been neglected. So when we got here, we removed about 10% of the hardwoods to make it more diverse, and then replanted shortleaf pines, which is a native to the area, but you don't find many. So now that percentage is in short leaves and wildlife openings. And then we've been able to thin a lot of the pines that are here now. Primary objective when we first bought property back in the early 2000s was timber investment and making the forest better. But about 10 years ago, International Paper shut down, which is the primary mill for chip and saw and your pine. And so at that time, we kind of changed our primary objective to more wildlife. So our primary objective now is probably twofold, the forest and wildlife.
So when I first got here, I wanted everything to look like a golf course. That was my goal, to keep the grass mowed and pristine. But you soon learn that's not the best habitat for the animals. So the habitat for the animals takes precedence. So you still want that aesthetics, but you also have to consider that there needs to be the habitats for the different animals. So we're focusing on that more now, to develop the habitat for the quails, for the small birds, the turkeys, nesting. So it's a balance of what you want versus what's best for the habitat.
And I enjoy listening to the wild turkey in the springtime. That's a passion of mine. Enjoy listening to them gobble and a hen react to them, and then just seeing the white-tailed deer. We like to manage them and do things to help them thrive.
So what are you doing in this area for wildlife?
Well, we decided to make a little different food for them, just some soft mass. We planted some apple trees. I think we got 3 or 4 different varieties of apples. There's some persimmons back in the back. I think this is one of the pears, and we were talking about using the cages around them to prevent the animals from eating them. But here's a good reason why we do it. We did not put a protector on this last year, and during the rut, the deer damaged it a bit, but seems to be doing okay. My passion is I've become a pyromaniac. I love to do prescribed fires. The problem is Kathy hates prescribed fires. So I have to send her off to her mom's or something when I plan a prescribed fire. But what I've found is going through the burn manager school, just to see the results, when you light a match and create early succession every time you start a fire, how quickly the wildlife just benefit from it. Well, we'd like to thin a little more frequently, about every 12, 13 years, but it's been difficult with the timber market not being great. And so we have about 500 acres right now that we need thinned. And we're not just going to thin them as normal and in future clear cut, but our goal is to get it down to a low basal area, maybe 35, 40, and make it a pine savanna like it used to be in the years ago. We've had a business for many years, and we work hard in that business and been successful. But the satisfaction of doing something on God's earth, He put the first human parents here in a paradise. It's not a paradise anymore. But if we can just do a little bit to make our little portion of Lauderdale County a paradise. The Helene Mosley, the Treasured Forest, has those goals and lays out techniques to help you make it into your own little paradise. So it drives us to get up every day.
We wanted any property we have to be under the Treasure Forest because the principles of the Treasure Forest management were what we feel in our heart. We like that. It promotes a sustainable, usable resources, that there is timber involved, but it's also the recreation, keeping the property up. Brian and I always say we could have never done this on our own. We had help from so many agencies and so many people that we feel very privileged to have the Helene Mosley Award, but we view this award as like a community award.